Welcome to another episode of Three's a Crowd. Alongside my co-host Eli Atwood, I'm Preston Vargas. And Eli, we had NFL football last night,
Yeah, it was great. First game, always exciting.
but 6 seconds into it, we had some controversy, did we?
Yeah, I mean, before the game even really started, just the kickoff.
Yeah. I mean, Jalen Carter spitting in the face of Dak Prescott while one of his teammates were down. Let's get your thoughts on that first.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but he's right in front of the ref. Like,
Yeah.
no chance of getting anything from that. I mean, and that's the problem with Jalen Carter, going back to
Yeah.
even NFL draft when he was projected to be a top three pick, and he ended up sliding towards the lower, a little lower in the draft. I mean, not too far, but still. And it's because of that character concern, he was always had the problems with
Yeah.
the speed and whatnot. There's definitely some concerns there, and you see that continuing in the NFL.
And when he killed that pedestrian in that car crash at Georgia,
Yeah.
I mean, my take on it is you can't do that. That's completely inexcusable to do that on an NFL field. And
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's just immature. He's a kid. He needs to grow up. He needs
he's in his third year in the NFL. He's 24 years old. You can't be doing
uh,
stuff like that.
no, I'm not excusing it. I'm saying he needs to grow up. It's his own fault.
Absolutely. That's my point. You're in your third year in the league and you're doing stuff like this.
Yeah, unacceptable. I mean, even for a rookie, that's unacceptable
Yeah.
behavior.
Even
Game
in
hasn't even
college and
started.
high
Like, how
school.
are you already that mad that you're spitting on people? I mean, you shouldn't be spitting on people in the first place, but no less before the game even starts. Like,
Apparently, the explanation for Dak Prescott and Jalen Carter after the game was Jalen Carter thought Prescott was spitting in his direction, but you don't go up to someone and do that. I mean,
yeah, I mean, you can't spit on someone. There's a big difference
that's
there.
not what Prescott was doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's before the game. Maybe he's got a little something in his throat. He's spitting it out. Like, at least clarify it beforehand.
I mean, you and I play football every Monday. There are times where we need a spit, but we never do it any direction.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, will this lead to a suspension for Jalen Carter?
I think probably not, just
Really?
because of the NFL rules regarding that, but I do think he'll be fined.
I mean, going into NFL rules on that, I think he should and definitely should be suspended at least a game for that. I mean, you're a grown man spitting on an opponent, and you just can't do that. And the NFL needs to set an example. And it was the opening game. All football fans were watching that at that particular time. Everybody saw it live.
Yeah, the only thing though is I think with precedent, the only time where people are suspended for spitting is if you're spitting on someone who's injured or unconscious.
But when was the last time we saw something like this happen?
I'm not sure. That was just what I had read.
I do know it's the earliest ejection that somebody's had in 20 years, since I think another Eagle, forget his
Of
name, but
course, another Eagle.
yeah, it was back in 2005 against the Falcons. They rejected pregame for fighting, and that was even before kickoff.
Yeah.
Then going into the game in question, Eagles won the game 24 to 20. Of course, you had the big lightning delay, an hour long. How did the Eagles look up in their opening game?
Yeah, I think it was a solid start, at least offensively for the Eagles. They continue to execute their sort of slow pace. I mean, some would call it a boring offense, but it is effective nonetheless.
Yeah,
The defense, though, I would be a little concerned. The Cowboys aren't necessarily the best team in the league, and they did do a pretty good job against them, I feel.
I think if you're the Cowboys, you look at this, even though you lost, you look at this as a win because you're not as bad as people thought you were going to be without Micah Parsons. I mean, you held the Eagles offense to only 24 points. You held Saquon to under 100 yards rushing, only 60 on the day. But Jalen Hurts, he went loose. But you kept the receivers quiet. AJ Brown only one catch. Devonta Smith only a few catches for like 40 yards. That's a pretty good win for the Dallas defense without Micah Parsons.
Yeah, that's a fair point there for sure. And I'd say even for the Dallas offense, it's a win of a day. You saw a lot out of the running backs, a lot more than I thought I would have seen out of the running backs.
And
And
Javonte Williams,
then,
2 touchdowns.
yeah, exactly. Not a bad performance by him at all. And even the offensive line and receivers and everything, I feel like as a unit, they were much more comprised than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, for sure. And you had CeeDee Lamb drop those 2 catches, which probably would have been the difference between them winning and losing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a pretty big difference just right there alone, you know.
If CeeDee Lamb doesn't drop those, I think I think they'll lose, but you'll make it interesting. You'll have the ball toward the end.
Yeah, I mean they could have even pulled it off there in that last like 2 minute situation. CeeDee Lamb dropped the ball on fourth down. I mean,
Yeah,
that's pretty deciding play right there.
I mean, for sure. And then that's not the only NFL game this week. We have a game south of the equator in Brazil between the Chiefs and the Chargers. What are you looking for in that matchup tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what we can get out of Brazil this year. Hopefully they've improved compared to the situation
Yeah.
last year with the grass and everything. And I think this will be an interesting game for the Chargers. You know, it's a strong start against a fairly difficult opponent. You know, Chiefs are always not the easiest opponent you're going to face. And will they be able to do well against them? I think that's the big question here.
And that's the thing. I picked the Chargers to win and pick them. I think Herbert can lead them down the field. We'll see how Keenan Allen does. He had a down season in Chicago last year, but he's back at his old stopping grounds with Justin Herbert, Led McConkey. I think the Chargers give the Chiefs a good run in a neutral site game.
Yeah, for sure. I think is this may be the season where the Chargers make it over the hump. You know, last year they had a solid year, but will this be enough?
I think if you have faith in Jim Harbaugh, I think you can get over the hump easily. I mean, he's done it wherever he's been, whether it was with Michigan, Stanford, San Francisco, anywhere. I think this is the
Yeah,
year
for
to do it.
sure.
And then
Yeah, he's the guy to get it done.
For the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, you went to the Super Bowl, 7 straight AFC Championship game appearances. I think they'll still be in the mix this year, but for this game specifically, you don't have Rashee Rice, he's suspended. You have Xavier Worthy. You also have Travis Kelce. What can he do in Brazil?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Rasheed Rice being out is going to be a huge factor here. He didn't play the
Yeah.
majority of last season anyways, so I don't think we'll see a huge difference from their offense. So we'll see if they're just able to continue if everybody's still healthy. I mean, is Kelsey going to be the same level he once was? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, my prediction is that this is his last season in the NFL.
Yeah, I could see him this year or next year. I think he'll probably do it. Agree.
At 36 years old, he's won 2 Super Bowls or three.
Yeah, I think three.
Three, yeah. I mean, and you're about to marry Taylor Swift, and that's a pretty good career in life.
Yeah, he's pretty much done here.
I don't know if we'll see Taylor Swift down there at the game, and that's another story for another time.
Yeah, who knows? I'm sure if they do, she'll be all over the TV. So
Over under 7 times, she's there tonight.
if she's there, I'm taking the over.
I take the over too. And moving on to NFL football this Sunday. So we'll get those 2 games out of the way. We finally got some football all day Sunday. Which game are you looking at for your game to watch this weekend?
I think for me, the game to watch, our NFC North rivals, we've got the Packers
Yes.
playing the Lions. I think that's the game of the week right there.
You got Micah Parsons. We think he's going to play Sunday for the Packers, going against a team that was quite frankly the best team in the NFL last season in the Detroit Lions before injuries caught up to them toward the end of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this in our Micah Parsons trade video last week. I think the Lions will take a bit of a step down. I think they'll make the playoffs, but they're not going to be the best team in the NFC North, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, the big question mark for the Lions is just how will they do without their coordinators? How
Yeah.
much of a difference did that make? So we'll have to see.
I saw a stat recently where there was one year where Jared Goff had Anthony Lynn as his offensive coordinator, and that was outside of McVay and Ben Johnson. And when he had Anthony Lynn in, he wasn't that good of a quarterback. So I
Yeah,
think the coordinators were a big difference in Jared Goff as a quarterback for sure.
yeah. I mean, I think the Lions did promote from within, though. Correct me if I'm wrong for those coordinator
Yes.
positions. So maybe we'll still see some of the same concepts at least, you know. So it might not be a huge difference.
I mean, you have getting new coordinators even from within, it could be a bit of a stretch. They
Oh,
still
for
have,
sure. Yeah,
you still have talent. You got Aiden Hutchinson coming back who missed the second half of the season with a broken leg, and you got a lot of good players. Kirby Joseph on the defense. The Lions should be all right, but not NFC contenders.
yeah. I think we'll know quickly though. This game will be the one to tell us.
I think so. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Lions in this one.
Yeah, of course.
And then for the Packers, is this the season for them to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I don't think they're quite there. I mean,
Me neither.
I'm not sure they're going to be there with this current roster they have. I just don't think Jordan Love's the guy for it.
I don't think so. I can't trust Jordan Love as an elite quarterback. He's not Favre. He's not Rodgers. He's more Favre in the sense that he throws more interceptions.
Yeah,
But
true. He's like a Kirk Cousins, you
yeah,
know. He's all right. He's just not an
maybe
X factor.
I think he's a level above Kirk Cousins, but he's not in the level of the elite like Josh Allen or
Yeah,
Lamar
definitely
Jackson.
not. I mean, I'm not saying current Kirk Cousins either. I'm saying
Yeah,
prime Kirk Cousins, you know.
I could see prime Kirk Cousins him in that same category,
Yeah,
but not Kirk Cousins now.
yeah, definitely not.
I think Jordan Love is a starter at best in the NFL, not a superstar.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But I think for the Packers, drafting Matthew Gold in the first round is a big win for them.
Yeah, for sure. That receiver core, I feel like, has been a revolving door the past few years. I mean, they've got some young guys, but like nobody who's really been that promising. I mean, guys with flashes, but consistency has been lacking.
They have Jaden Reed, Christian Watson. I think he's going to miss the first few games after tearing his ACL in the big game last year.
Romeo Dobbs, they've definitely got some depth. It's just
Yeah.
who's going to step up.
Yeah, who will step up? I think my game of the week, I'm going to say, is the game Sunday Night Football, the Ravens and Bills. I mean, you can't ask for a much better game. I think the two AFC contenders, the two favorites of the AFC going against each other week one. It's going to mean a lot going down the stretch toward the end of the season.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be a meaningful game for sure.
I mean, you got Lamar Jackson on one side of the ball with Derrick Henry, and you have Josh Allen. We'll see if he can avenge his loss to the Chiefs. There are a bunch of storylines to go with this game. What would be one for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing to look at this week is what we see from the Bills around Josh Allen. Like, who's going to be able to help him out? Because I feel like a lot of times what we see is Josh Allen's a great player, but they're just not able to make it over that hump because nobody else is doing anything.
We'll see what they could do with their receiver core. I mean, Josh Allen had an MVP season with basically no one. You got second year Keon Coleman coming in. I think he's number one. Also, Khalil Shakir, also a good player.
Yeah, exactly. It's just who's going to step up there. And even defensively, like I feel like they've kind of gone down a level compared to a few years ago.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you still have some decent players on defense, but what can you do defensively? I mean, defense wins championships in this league. I know that's a cliche, but
yeah, but it's true.
on the Ravens side of the ball, I think Derrick Henry, if he doesn't fall off a cliff this year, I think you'll see the Ravens in the AFC Championship game at least.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. The only thing is, will they choke in the playoffs like they have the
Yeah.
past few years? So,
I mean, will Mark Andrews be able to catch the ball in crucial situations?
yeah, I mean, they're going to be relying on Mark Andrews too for at least the beginning of the season, with likely being out
Yeah.
for a few weeks.
I for sure will see if they can weather that storm. And then moving on to college football, the NCAA will have a single transfer window. They just voted on that for January. How will that impact college football?
Yeah, I think that's going to balance the wins a little bit here. I mean, you've this dual transfer window has just made it chaos. You've got players who are coming in last minute. You got other players who are leaving. The NIL makes it all even more complicated. And I think you got to be able to stick to a team once you get there.
I mean, for sure. I had a proposal for a system that they should have done with the transfer portal. You're allowed one free transfer. Then, if you want to transfer again, you have to sit out a season in redshirt. I think that'll be a good rule to add. I mean, it won't allow players to do unlimited transfers. You can't play 4 seasons at different schools.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're not stuck there. That's a fair
Yeah.
point. The only thing I could see with that is you end up with the NIL situation. You may end up with teams trying to trap players in and only giving NIL money to transfers. So then that's where you may have some problems.
I think with exceptions, you could have if a coach transfers, then you're allowed an extra free transfer.
Yeah, I think part of it is they need to get the whole NIL thing situated first too. They've got to figure out some way to make that more under control.
When I heard the College Sports Commission is doing a good job at that, they approved other deals for like 80 million in NIL funds. And then I heard a good story for from Middle Tennessee State where I think their players received $500,000, but you have to go out in the community to get the money. And
Yeah, that was an interesting one too. So they had basically cut all of their uniform variants to pay
yes,
for
that's what it was.
extra payments towards that. And I think that's a good incentive because it's actually providing value. It's not just here, get paid to be on the football team, you know.
Hmm.
It's the true purpose of NIL from the start.
Yeah, for sure. And not all these boosters wanting to raise money.
Yeah, exactly. I think they need to make it so that you have to provide some purpose instead of just being straight money that they're giving out, you know.
Hmm. Especially when they're about to get paid directly from the school to be athletes at the
Exactly,
school.
yeah.
I mean, that's going to be something to watch for. And going back to the transfers, I think that this is a good move. You won't have spring transfers anymore going out after spring camp. But the thing is about this, it'll start January 2nd, which is after the college football quarterfinal games. It's better than what they had before when you could transfer during the heart of the playoffs, like during the first round.
Yeah.
It alleviates all that post bowl. It's post bowl transfers. It's right after bowl season for a majority of the teams. But how will this affect the teams that are still in the semifinals?
I mean, those teams too, because they're able to focus on what they need and then go into transfers after. You're not having to try to balance the playoffs and transfer window at the same time.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good system all around. And now we'll get into our final segment. Speaking of college football, our game picks live on the air, which we do every Friday. So with our
Yep.
ESPN College Pick'em Challenge, we'll start with the first game. Iowa taking on Iowa State in the Cyhawk rivalry. Big noon kickoff. Who wins this one?
I mean, for me here, I'm going Iowa State. They're at home. They've got the ranked seed. No questions.
I got Iowa State as well. They got a big win in Dublin a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Iowa State. And the former Big East rivalry on, I think this is on ACC Extra, UConn and Syracuse. Who wins this one?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just go Syracuse here. We've seen UConn football the past few years. It's been getting a little better, but it's still not good.
I mean, UConn's 1-0, Syracuse is 0-1, but I'm taking Syracuse at home. Illinois and Duke, historic basketball game or basketball field to this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Illinois is going away. That's the one advantage I'd say Duke maybe has here. But still, I think I'm going with Illinois in this matchup. They're just the better football team.
I'm taking Illinois here. Sorry, Ron. We'll go with the old Southwest Conference matchup, Baylor versus SMU.
Yeah, SMU at home, and I think they're the better team. I'm taking SMU all day.
I'm taking SMU as well. Virginia Cavaliers against NC State in the ACC matchup. Who wins this one?
It's a tough one, but since NC State is at home, I'm gonna go with NC State here. That's the deciding factor for me, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with NC State too. They're at home, like you said. Then a big rivalry that's been dormant for the past 10 years, Kansas and Missouri. What do you think's winning that one?
Yeah, I think I'm going Missouri here. I like what I've seen from them the past few years compared to Kansas.
We've been picking the same. I'm gonna pick Kansas here.
You're
They're
taking
2-0 to
Kansas for
start.
the upset.
I think they can win this one. They got
All right.
I think this will be a good one. And then West Virginia going against Ohio, not Ohio State, the Ohio Bobcats.
Yeah, and there's a reason it's not Ohio State because West Virginia is going to win this game.
Yep, they're winning this one. Even though Ohio can make it interesting, it's going to be closer than I think people expect. West Virginia is going to win. The game where game day is at, Michigan, Oklahoma, the only ranked matchup of the week. Who wins it?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup here. They're both ranked pretty equivalently. I'm going to go with the home team once again. Give me Oklahoma.
Likely Corso says, not so fast. Give me the Michigan Wolverines. Bryce Underwood looked good in his debut last week. I'm going Michigan. And then Arizona State traveling to the SEC to take on Mississippi State. Who you got here?
Yeah, I'm taking Arizona State. Mississippi State has been horrible for SEC standards the past few years.
I'm picking Arizona State too. I still believe in Kenny Dillingham. I think Arizona State will win. Then the last game, Vanderbilt and Virginia Tech, kind of a snoozer here.
Yeah, I'm going Vanderbilt. They had some success last year beating Alabama. I'm going to continue on with that this year.
And Vanderbilt is a decent team, but I don't think they win on the road at Virginia Tech. Give me the Hokies. So those are our game picks. Join us again on Monday where we will preview the Chicago Bears season going
Go
against the Minnesota
Bears.
Vikings. So we'll see you back here on Monday. Subscribe if you're new. Please leave a like. And as always, go Knights.
Charge on.
Thank you for watching.